Here's your podcast script. A new poll finds Graham Platner with a slight edge over Susan Collins in what could be one of the most consequential Senate races of the year. A New York Times, Portland Press Herald, and Siena University survey of 608 likely voters in Maine, conducted June 19 through the 26th, shows Platner leading Collins by just 2 percentage points, 49 to 47. That margin is well within the poll's margin of error, meaning this race is, for all practical purposes, a dead heat. So who is Graham Platner? He's a 41-year-old oysterman who has never held elected office. He rode a populist wave to win the Democratic nomination, but he's arrived at the general election carrying serious baggage. Reports have surfaced about offensive online posts, a tattoo resembling a Nazi symbol, and troubling behavior toward women he dated, including, in one case, behavior described as physically threatening. More than 90% of likely voters in Maine say they've heard about these controversies, and about 30% of his own supporters say those reports have raised real questions about whether they can back him. Here's the number that really stands out. 54% of Maine voters say they want Democrats to control the Senate next year, but only 49% say they're voting for Platner. That gap is a problem. Collins, the Republican, is actually winning 10% of voters who would prefer a Democratic Senate. Majorities of likely voters do not believe Platner has good character or the right moral values, and 47% describe him as too extreme. Collins, meanwhile, is no runaway favorite. She's 73, running for a sixth term, and her favorability is basically even about as many voters view her positively as negatively. A majority of Mainers, including 57% of independents, say they think she'd be too supportive of Donald Trump in the Senate. And even some of her own supporters privately worry she's too old to be effective. But voters do credit her with one powerful thing: she delivers for Maine. That reputation for bringing federal resources home is her strongest asset. The stakes here are enormous. With Republicans holding 53 Senate seats, Democrats need to defend everything they have and flip 4 more seats to win back the chamber. Of all 6 battleground states on the Senate map, Maine is the only one that voted against Trump in 2024, making it absolutely central to Democratic hopes. The race is still deeply unsettled. 20% of Platner's supporters say they're only probably going to vote for him, and 16% of Collins's backers say the same. Female voters, who have made up a majority of Maine's Senate electorate in past cycles, could well decide this one. As one Democratic voter from Rockland put it, it's a moral catch-22, and with months still to go before November, neither side has reason to feel comfortable. That's the latest from Maine, where one of the Senate's most watched races is anyone's game. Approximately 420 words reads to roughly 3 to 3.5 minutes at a natural pace.